Let me try to one example. Okay, big problem issue is users, people. Some cases, sales department, they have big voice and very heavy influence to IT department. And IT department
Yes.
general manager, they cannot persuade sales department people, and they turn around to the consulting company. They should change kind of function, the additional function, so and so, because he cannot sustain. He cannot sustain that his original opinion and original ideas. So the sales department they didn't accept the sort of things. I think we have some difficulty. Okay, which area the consulting company need to provide, communication with IT department, or additionally they need to negotiate
I have,
with sales
two
department
examples
people.
also.
Huh?
Two examples, one success and one failure.
Okay.
Both real life examples. First is failure. A manufacturing company. When we started, our company started to talk with the manufacturing company, they just had a change in leadership. So and actually the CFO had been promoted to CEO, because the CEO had to resign. There were problems with the performance, and the CFO, the shareholders, wanted the CFO to take over. So the CFO he was not very beloved within the organization, but he wanted to show how good he was. So he really wanted to show for the entire company that he was the boss. So what happened is, during the sales phase, our salespeople, they were basically the CFO, the new CEO, the former CFO. He felt that he was very competent. He knew everything there was to know in the company, and he was the new boss. Therefore, all discussions went through him. Now, as a salesperson, this is a very attractive situation, because basically you only need to focus on persuading one person to get the signature. So what happened is that the salespeople built up a good relation with the CEO, and they managed to actually get a contract. The problem that occurred on our side is that the project manager at the time, who was going to lead the project, he resigned, he went to a different company. So they asked me to step in. And okay, I didn't really want to do it, but it's work, so I became the project manager on that project. I remember the first meeting that we had, and the first meeting I was going to present the project plans that were based on the contract. And in that first meeting, it was a complete mess, because we are describing, I was actually, during the kickoff, I was describing what we were going to do. And then people say, wait a minute, that's not going to cut it. People from the finance department said, well, we cannot accept this. People from production said, and what about our foreign subsidiary in the Czech Republic? We cannot accept this. They are not in the plans. That is unacceptable. So there were all kinds of problems, and it really...
You mean the new CEO offered you additional scope with fixed fee?
So no, actually there was not enough money to give additional scope. So what happened is that we actually we had to redo the entire project design with the same budget.
Because of replacement of CEO?
The CEO actually stayed on. But basically I had to make new project plans together with our consultants, with the same budget, but redo the entire thing. That means taking things out from the left and putting things to the right, reshuffling everything until everybody was basically satisfied
Wait, but I don't understand. Why the same budget?
Sorry?
Why you did the same budget? because just
The same
switching
budget because they
CEO
didn't have more money.
and new CEO offer you new plan of ID development, right? So we
Yeah,
need
he
to
didn't have more
reschedule,
budget.
replanning again, right?
Yes. So the budget was the same.
Huh? What?
So they didn't have more money to spend on our services. So basically, we redid it, and but it was a mess. It was already a mess, and it never was resolved. Halfway through the project, everybody.
Oh, just a
was
moment.
unhappy.
Let me clarify. Okay, CEO resigned and CFO got the position as CEO.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
CEO also general manager of IT design, and you're going to take a position instead of him. And you're going to
Yes.
meet with CEO for the
No,
new.
not with the CEO, with the people, the people on the work floor, the people who work in production, the people who work in procurement, the people who work in all the other departments. But they had never been involved in the project until then, because the new CEO, the former CFO, the new CEO, he had done all the negotiations with our salespeople, all the discussions,
Oh, okay.
all the project plans, everything.
But I think this former CEO, they don't, they ask you, ask client, ask consulting company, they don't force them to survey all the company, each department head and so forth, right? And now his new CEO changed his mind, he want to survey again in detail, right?
No, actually, the CFO was so arrogant that he thought that he knew exactly what was needed, and he didn't have so much budget to begin with. So he said, "Oh, we can do this and we can do that because I know I'm the CFO, and for production we can do this, this, and that. I know because I'm the new CEO." So he actually did not involve people from his organization. He basically made all the decisions for everybody in the organization.
Oh, wait a minute, but maybe you spent already several months for designing system, and then new CEO ask you to reconsider those plans affected by each department head, right?
Not the CEO, everybody in the organization said, okay, these plans are not going to work. So this only came out for the first time they were confronted with it was the first time that I actually came to that company, and they said, well, this is nonsense. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. And they had very good reasons to say so, because actually the design that was made by our people was based on the input of basically the input of one person, the new CEO. And that was very attractive for the salespeople because they could push the sales. And the new CEO wanted to show how strong of a man he was. But actually, he made a big failure. And we also made a big failure because we should have insisted on involvement of people of all the different departments, and not just simply accept the fact that only the CEO was going to determine it. So basically what we did, we focused only on the guy who had the money and not on the people who were actually going to use the software. That was a big mistake from both sides. And the only thing that we could do at that time, say, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board and redo the project proposal and make something that is that can pass with the organization. Now, but it was already too late, because the CEO felt embarrassed. We actually also had to do a lot of extra work that was very difficult to put onto a bill, and the budget was actually not big enough to make something that would make the people on the floor happy.